Okay, good afternoon, every hacker. For me, it's a pleasure to stay here for a second time in the car hacking village. So yeah, let's go ahead. Hacking a hard unit with a malicious PNG. This is a zero-day technique. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, who am I? Very fast. I'm the founder of Reverse Everything, a company that is secure pen testing. The founder of the Pound or Die, the most underground conference in all over the world, is in Ecuador. You are invited. It's very underground. I really like it. The founder of the car hacking villas of Eco Party. Also, you are invited in Buenos Aires, the most important, biggest Latin American conference. I am hardware security researcher in my free time, etc. And YouTube, my YouTube channel, if you scan the QR. So, we are talking about the Kia infotainment console, okay? So, in this case, we have that Kia Motor Group manufactured the Hyundai and Kia infotainment console. So, in Europe, Russia, Australia use Linux Automotive OS, okay? In the most of the cases, the model Gen 5WB. In the cases of United States, Canada, Saudi Arabia, India, and so on, use Android Automotive OS. But what about the rest countries, Latin America? What about the rest countries that I don't mention here? So let's start with a reversing in all the ways Kia infotainment console. So here we have the victim in this day is this one, okay? So who has a Kia car? Nice. Do you recognize this type of infotainment console? Maybe it could be the U, so it's vulnerable. So this is the model, the hard unit model. The hard unit FCCID, you want to check the software version, the firmware version, okay? When you disassemble, here we have many components, but principally we have to focus in the system of a chip, that is an unknown system of a chip, TMM9200, no data sheet, no any information about that. After that, we have the microcontroller. The CAN microcontroller is very older, so this board is a trash, is a shit because it's like built with very many cheapest components. So after that, we have the EEPROM that save configuration information. We have also the flash SPI WB25Q128JB that have the firmware, all the firmware. After that, we have another flash SPI that have the another binary. Okay, but this is the principal components. So the system of chip communicate with the SPI and also with the EEPROM, and the SPI 2 megabytes have the factory reset binary, okay? In the backside we have the power connector, CAN connector, USB, the antenna, and the parking lights. In the backside also we have two touch screen controller, the ATMXT449 that is capacitive touch controller, like very similar to the red fingerprints, okay? Another touch screen controller is the AK41A3. So this infotainment console is supplied to Kia by Motrex, okay? This is the unique information that we have about this system of a chip. No more information, okay? I asked for the datasheet to the manufacturer, but no any responses. So here we have the system of a chip, manufacturer, the supplier, the hard unit, and the end, Kia is the vendor. When we done the EEPROM, we have the software information, universal unique identifier number, as also is printed in the board. When we sniff the communication between the EEPROM and the system of a chip in the boot process, we have this kind of information. So there is information in the boot process with the EEPROM about the configuration, softwares, and so on. After that, we dump the SPI WB25Q16, and we see that in the boot process we don't have information, okay? So from the black box, we are executing a hardware reverse engineering process to understand what is going on in the boot process. After that, we have the dumping of the firmware, because in this flash is the firmware. All the magic is in this flash, okay? After that, we see that in the boot process there are communications, so that means that after the root boot, After the root bootloader, we have the second stage bootloader that is in this flash. Okay, so we are going to check that in few slides. So yeah, we have communication through SPI. Remember, in AEPROM we have communication I2C. In the SPI, in this firmware, we have communication through SPI communication. Okay, and after that, I realized that in the backside of the UART we have of the head unit we have a UART access. Okay, so I proceeded to soldering, and this was very useful for execute a reverse engineer process through the UART logs. Okay, next to that we have the binary parsing. So this is very interesting because Bingwall lied us in this case, because Bingwall told me that this binary is a QNX boot block and so on, and also the PNG files are not rendered well. So Bingwall showed me many trash, many false positive, 100% false positive. So the solution was execute a manual extraction looking for the real magic bytes of the PNG, the JPEG files, and so on. So these files like MySQL copyright doesn't exist. So also I realized that the Bluetooth information is saved in this raw binary in plain text. Very dangerous. Here we can see the Bluetooth password in plain text, also the connections, the contents, and so on. So very dangerous. So Bingwall told me that, hey, this is a QNX boot block, but this is not true. If you search the code, the source code of the Bingwall, you can see that the magic byte of the QNX 4 volt is EB109000. But this is not official information. This is wrong. And everyone trusts in Bingwall. But if you search about this issue, is still open, is still not verified. So Bingwall, Bingwall, don't use Bingwall. You install Bingwall, please. Okay, so at this moment, Bingwall is in version 3, is better than the version 2, so it's less false positives. So I rechecked that because when I disassemble this architecture is ARM, thumb, in mod thumb, in big endian, we have that the magic byte is not a QNX. In this case, the magic byte is a part of the branch link exchange instruction in the thumb architecture. Okay, so this is a call function. Okay, and we can verify that in the same address to D6572. Okay, so after many reversing process, we have here the parts of the firmware. So first of all, we have a RAR file that have the recovery, the factory reset. After that, we have another big RAR file that is the pre-main. What is the meaning of the pre-main? Is the second stage bootloader. In this case, we have the one image that appears in the bootloader process when you power on your head unit. You are able to see a key image. After that, you have two key images that are not used, the bootloader binary, and more information. The third part is the 3 RAR file. Okay, so in this case we have the kernel, the file system, and also here we have the certificates, the private key, the public key, 1 PNG file, and 3 more RAR files, as you can see, that is part of this big binary. After that, you have the firmware and software information in a very short part of the firmware. And after that, very dangerous, the Bluetooth data in plain text, Bluetooth connection, Bluetooth password, Bluetooth name. And after that, if you pay attention, here we have 882 PNG files. Okay, so all the displays, all the images that you see in the display, all these images are PNG files that are loaded from the firmware in the boot process. All these images, the home, the seats, everyone, the arrows, all. So after execute a manual extraction, I get all the images, as you can see. Okay, so let's start to analyze this real-time operating system. As you can see, here we have 110 tasks identified at the moment, as you can see. So remember, the main real-time operating system is the function that run a loop, so after the boot process, after the system and application init, initialization application and print system info, hardware, verification process, integrity, and so on, we enter in a main application task that this is the brain of this real-time operating system, okay? So, yeah, as you can see, we have here set application state, initialization hardware drivers, initialization of the services systems, and so on. And here we have the loop that manage, the log status, the process events, the handlers, and create the event dispatch, the state transitions, ensuring the system remains operational and responsive to events or commands. We have here many PNG functions, a lot of PNG functions, like around 100 functions just with PNG functions. Anyway, all these functions are renamed by me because in the firmware we don't have variable names, function names, so I invented these names of the functions also. So it's interesting here because many functions are regarding to the libpng library detection. Remember, libpng library is the library that allow us that execute the PNG process to the verification, the checksum verification in the each header. The header, the data, the chunk data, and the EN all have CRC verification process. Okay, so here we have many functions regarding to this library. More functions about PNG. So after that, if you visit the page of the manufacturer of the tab of the system of a chip, you can see. Remember, here I have two options: Android Automotive OS, Linux Automotive OS, and the third that it is right now is showed is RTOS. Okay, so here you can verify the name RTOS because in the binary there are strings about the path. So where is the files? So here we have IRTOS solution, IRTOS. So the name of this real-time operating system is IRTOS. This is all the technical information about that. ARM Cortex A9 is developed in C, libraries. At the moment, there are vulnerabilities like the Bluetooth is in plain text in the URL logs. There are 2 private keys recovered from the firmware that allow you to decrypt and seek many things because we have like around 3 private keys and 4 public keys. The real-time operating system use vulnerable libraries like Matrix SSL that has CVEs. Also, libpng version have more CVEs. So let's start test the bootloader process, okay? So to do that, remember that in the firmware we have many RAR files. In this case, the RAR files are compressed with version 4. So that's the reason that I don't change anything. I just take the binary of the second boot stage process, second bootloader stage, and I just compress with RAR version 4, and I patch the firmware with this new compress to check if there are integrity process in the bootloader process, okay? So as you can see, the system don't boot. Appears a white image, okay? But don't give up, let's continue testing more. So, remember, power die. I don't want to die. So at this moment, the room boot is okay. As you can see, the first stage bootloader, the signature, the crypto key is perfect as I was testing. So let's test the second stage bootloader, okay? Because remember, the pre-main binary is the second stage bootloader that loads the entire main binary that is the real-time operating system. And after that, you can use the hard unit. So as you can see, I realized that there are no integrity in the 882 PNG files because we have a secure bootloader in the root boot. The second bootloader also has integrity check process also in the main real-time operating system and the beginning of the function of the main the main function of the real-time operating system. Also, there are integrity verification, but when the PNG functions are loaded from the firmware to the RAM in the system of the chip, there is no integrity verification process. So it's like we have here a bridge, a secure bootloader, and after that, the A182 PNG files without verification integrity. So you can verify this in the pre-main, and also in the main function. Okay, so here we have the init system and bootloader, the initialize bootloader system function, the flash detection function loop, the detect flash device, as you can see. So here we have the second stage bootloader, and here we have the part where when the pre-main show logo start. Okay, so also in the main function of the real-time operating system, we have here hardware information printed through UR logs, flash detection, memory usage logs, and here we have also the plane of the main task of the real-time operating system where the file system is mounted, and in this part is where all the PNG files are loaded. Okay, and basically after that we have more functions, more tools, but this is the main application task. So let's go to check. So this is here we have the vulnerability, because in this slide appears the file system mounting process. Okay, but what is going on here? The GUI application, the UI daemon execute a file open calls to the operating system. So basically, the operating system reads the raw PNG bytes from flash into the main memory via the system of its memory controller and bus fabric. And after that, this is passed to the leave PNG function. Okay, so basically, the leave PNG library just pass the headers, execute verification process into the image. They compress the EDAT channels and produce an uncompressed RGBA buffer in RAM. But what is going here? Leave PNG checks are useful if you don't execute integrity verification process of the hash of the entire image. Basically, leave PNG checks are useful. Okay, so that's the reason that right now we have here the most elaborated QR phishing in the automotive world, because basically I infected this was the hello world for test this vulnerability. So I changed this with this image with the word hack, and here we have hack word. When I realized that was this is danger, and the boot process don't detect these changes, so I can change whatever image that I want, defacement, execute defacement, and so on. So you are thinking that it's possible a remote come against execution? Absolutely yes, but at the moment I am going to show the cure. So QR phishing attack through parking tickets? No. Let's go to execute a very sophisticated QR attack. So in this case, after many attempts and after many reversing process, I realized that to execute these backdoor requirements, we need that the fake image must be the same size as the original image. If the fake image is smaller than the original, padding with zeros is an option. The image will not render if it is compressed. So the image have to be all the metadata, all the header, all the PNG headers, because it is verified by the, remember, libpng library. So it is possible to replace any image as long the same offset is maintained in the firmware. So if you achieve this recipe, you are able to execute, inject whatever image. Okay. In this case, this is the official QR that redirects to the Kia web user manual, as you can see. But I created the image with Inkscape that completes all the requirements, the same size, the same pixels, and so on. And after that, I create this tool that I will publish right now. After I finish my conference, I will publish this danger tool. So I create a phishing web page. Okay, as you can see, it's very similar. I just added the download button to download a malware application for the Android phones. As you can see, in this case, the malware is an official Kia app infected with a backdoor with our Android detection. So, as you can see, my Kia app installed was correctly. So when you open, basically, I have access to the phone. What are the ways to infect that? Is through USB and also with hardware hacking, executing a flashing the malicious firmware. Okay. For finish the tool, let me show you the demo.
Use the HAD unit because I need to scan the QR because in the QR I have the manual, I have everything about the car. This is a new car, so I'm going to scan the QR. Where's the QR? Is in the HAD unit in the setup system and manual. As you can see, here we have the QR. I'm going to scan, but what is going on? As you can see, this redirects to a new official Kia web page, because this is not a manual Kia web page. As you can see, the domain is reversauto.com. This is set up in my own web page. But as you can see, it's very real Kia. I don't know. Maybe here, start, and so on. Set up, and so on. So, hey, what I have here? I have here download Kia official app. Let's go to download. I already downloaded previously, but so here's dot 99 megabytes and so on. But anyway, I'm going to stop because the application is this one, kia.apk. This is a malicious application that if I install more details, install without scanning, app installed. Okay?
Yes.
So before open, in this moment, I'm going to, this is the big thing here. I have the interpreter.
So this is the C2, the C2 where I are able to get the connection on the Android cell phone.
So, okay, let's go. I'm going to open the application, and immediately I have a reverse shot. As you can see, I have access to the phone. So let me show you. Sys info Android 14, and I'm going to put, for example, get UID. I'm going to dump the SMS, for example. Here we have them. I'm going to and I'm
basically I have access to the cell phone, and due to the time I will show the results. So here we have
hey, I am driving, I like driving, but don't choose in Kia infotainment console. Don't.
So I was able to get access to the cell phone to, you know, health location, contacts and CM is down, recording the microphone. This is very dangerous. Yeah, at the moment, this is, Kia will create a CVE about that, put loader insecure. Yeah, but it's the moment, it is a 0 day, because Kia will not patch that, okay? So that's the reason that I decided to show in this conference. Thank you so much.